Joining us now for tonight's big close-up is border czar Tom HOMAN. Tom, thank you so much for joining us. Mike's report there is a little bit disturbing when you hear that there's basically an all-points bulletin out by a street gang, the Latin Kings, on ICE agents. Are we seeing this kind of war between our federal government and these cartels and street gangs boiling up, or is it too soon to kind of make a determination on that?
Oh, no, it's there. It's been there, and it's getting worse. And I said, Joey, back in March on a Fox show, I said if the hateful rhetoric continues, especially from members of Congress, comparing ICE and Nazis and racists and the Gestapo, there's going to be bloodshed. This shooting at the Border Patrol in Chicago, just the latest shooting. We had a shooting at a Border Patrol facility in Texas a few months ago. That shooter was killed by Border Patrol. We had another guy showed up at an ICE office in Dallas, killed 2 detainees. He shot himself. Another guy showed up at a detention facility in Texas, wounded a local police officer that responded to the scene to help the ICE officers in that facility. Several aliens have been shot and killed during these operations. And the bottom line is the bloodshed is going to continue as long as the rhetoric continues, especially from members of Congress. It emboldens the bad guy to take actions against ICE and Border Patrol agents.
Yeah, you'd imagine Pritzker, Johnson will do something about it.
Well, Tom, it's great to talk to you. I want to stick with Chicago right now because their illustrious mayor, Brandon Johnson, is asking the United Nations to intervene to stop your operations.
Oh,
here is what he said before the UN Human Rights Council. Listen to this.
The federal government's immigration enforcement has been marked by violence and an assault on the dignity of all Chicagoans. I call on this council to hold the federal government of the United States to the same standards of accountability you apply elsewhere in the world. No country should be above international law. I urge the Human Rights Council to consider additional measures of accountability, including a special session to examine the worsening human rights crisis in the United States.
Tom, this is just pure lunacy, but what is your reaction to all of that?
He's just proving he's not that smart, right? I mean, asking the United Nations to interfere with ICE enforcing U.S. law, it's like asking an arsonist how to stop a fire. Because the UN, remember, the IOM, the part of the UN, helped fund the mass migration during the Biden administration 4 years, spending millions upon millions of dollars helping that migration, international migration, come to the United States. So, the United Nations is not going to tell President Trump what to do. President Trump was put in office on the promise of making this country safe again, on the